Congratulations, you're making the move out to Colorado, but Denver, you're not so sure about it. You're looking for something that is outside of the Denver metro area, but still close to some of the amenities and everything Denver has to offer. Well, you are in luck. Today we are going to highlight 3 different communities that are outside of Denver, out a little bit more of a country feel, and see if one of those is the right option for you. Guys, I'm Tim Kampmann, realtor for the Denver metro area. If you are thinking of buying or selling a home here in Denver or any of the amazing suburbs or any of the towns that we're going to talk about today, I would love to be a resource for you. So reach out to me, call, text, or email. I am the one who answers the phone. I get back to you right away, and we'll make sure that your move out to Denver, or maybe it's outside of Denver, a success. Either way, if you're coming or going, I got your back in all things Denver real estate. So let's start off with a country town that is a little bit outside of the Denver metro area, and it is Elizabeth, Colorado, and Parker, the east end of Parker, Colorado. So this is an area that is just to the southeast of the Denver metro area. You're probably looking about an hour drive or hour commute into the Denver metro area, but this is a fantastic area if you are thinking of more of a country style living. You want something that's a little bit flatter with maybe some mountain views. You don't want to be right in the mountains, but you'd like to have some views of the mountains. You'd like to have some acreage. There's a lot of options out on the east end of Parker and Elizabeth where you can have home sites that are 5 or 10 acres large. And then if you want to go a little bit further east, you're going to be looking at Kiowa and even bigger parcels of land. So if you want more of a ranch style of living, own your own piece of the ground and have more of a homestead or a farm area, this could be a great option for you. Now, price points, this one is probably going to be the most expensive out of the 3 areas that we looked at. Depending on the style and size of home that you're going to be looking at and the amount of acreage, you'll probably be looking to spend around $750 and above to get into the Parker and Kiowa and Elizabeth areas. Now, benefits of these towns is it's a little bit further out. You have a little bit more space. You're away from neighbors. Like I said, if you want acreage, but still to be within, a commute of the Denver metro area, this is probably the spot for you. If you want horses, cattle, chickens, things like that, this is a great option for you. If you are looking to have horses or cattle, this could be a great option for someone who's looking to have horses, maybe chickens or goats on their property, something that's more of a homestead style feel. Like I said, if you're going to be closer in, you're going to be looking at the Parker Elizabeth area. If you want more acreage and a more affordable price point, you're going to be going further east into the Kiowa area. All right, the next stop on our tour of places outside of Denver, we're going to highlight the area of Conifer, Colorado. Now, this is on the west end of Denver, so this one is going to be mountain property, which is traditionally a little bit more expensive out here in Colorado. Reason for that is it's a little bit harder to build in the mountains. You got to move a lot more earth. There's not as many homes available. There's not as many buildable sites at west end once you start getting into the foothills and into the Rockies. So you are going to have the option of having something that's a little bit more secluded, and you are going to have a lot of trees around you and a very private and secluded area in a lot of the parts of Conifer and in the mountains in general. Conifer is a little bit better of a price point than some other mountain towns like Morrison, Colorado, or Evergreen area. So you can get in at a little bit more affordable price point. You are going to be looking at 500 plus in a lot of the homes up here, all the way up into the multi-millions, but you are going to have a little bit better price point than, say, Morrison or Evergreen. Something to remember about mountain living, it is not for everybody, and generally the people that move to the mountains either absolutely love it and they will never leave. They're going to stay there, will the houses to their children, or they can't stand it right away. It was not what they thought it was going to be, and they move out rather quickly. So sometimes you will see homes that have exchanged hands a few times. This isn't necessarily that there's anything wrong with the house. It can be that somebody relocated here, they weren't sure what it would be like living in the mountains, and they decided to sell it quickly. So if you see a home that's been for sale several times before, don't always take that as a red flag. It might not be something wrong with the home per se. It may be just that expectations when people moved out here were not met. Other things to consider in the mountains: you are going to have to deal with more snow. You are going to have to deal with colder temperatures and longer winters, but it is beautiful. The air is crisper and cleaner up there, and it is magnificent. So if you are looking for something a little bit more secluded, quiet, and off the beaten path, Conifer can be a great option for you. Okay, and the third area we're going to highlight is out on the east end of Denver off of the I-70 corridor, and this is going to include several towns: Watkins, Bennett, and Strasburg. These are kind of in the path outside to the east of Denver. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of building going on into the west end and up into the foothills because mainly it's more expensive and there's less buildable land available. Where there is a lot of buildable land is out to the east. So out on the plains where you're traveling east on I-70 towards Nebraska and Kansas, there is a lot of flat land, a lot of buildable land, and a lot better home prices in these three small towns that are growing rather quickly. So there are new developments going in if you're looking for more of a suburban feel to traditional neighborhood, but you want a better price point. You can get into some of these communities in Bennett and Strasburg for a single family home still under $500,000, which is kind of unheard of for most of the Denver metro area. A lot of our new construction in towns like Castle Rock and Parker, parts of Denver, and even to the north in Thornton are starting at around $600,000, $700,000 and going up from there. So to get a single family home for under $500,000 is a good deal out on that east end of the somebody who travels a lot for work and you have to utilize the airport a lot. This can be a great option for you. One downside to living out there is it is closer to the airport, so you are going to get more airport noise, more air traffic going overhead. So something to weigh out when thinking of where to want to live. That could be a trade-off for having the lower home prices, but you may have to deal with a little more airport noise. Now, in this area as well, there are home plots available that have acreage on them. So similar to that east end of Parker and Elizabeth, you will find more of some country living with acreage. If you have horses, you want to raise cattle, you want to have chickens and goats on your property, this can be a great option, and it is more affordable than those areas of Parker and Elizabeth. So to recap, if you're looking for something that's fairly close to the metro area but still has land and you have the money to afford some acreage, Parker and Elizabeth may be your first choice for something that's a little bit more expensive but still close to town. If you're looking for a mountain feel, but you don't want to get into the multi-million-dollar price points of some of the homes in the mountains, Conifer may be a good option for you. That is just about 30 minutes into the mountains off of Highway 285. And then if you want something that's more affordable, has still a subdivision feel, or maybe you have, do want some of that acreage and don't want to pay the price point like Elizabeth and Parker, then the towns of Strasburg, Bennett, and Watkins could be the perfect option for you. Hit me up. Let me know which town that you like. If you have visited out in Colorado and you've never even heard of any of these towns, make sure you hit me up to learn a little bit more. Call, text, or email, and I would love to help you with your relocation in or out of Denver.